Good morning. I'm here on the Amazon River with Christopher Beth of the Bucket Ministry, the founder of the Bucket Ministry, and I've had the opportunity to firsthand be able to see the Bucket Ministry in action. I just wanted Christopher to share the story of the Bucket Ministry, partly because it was birthed out of an Amazon outreach trip, and secondly, he is now a partner with our mission and want to encourage other churches to consider an Amazon outreach trip to use this incredible tool. So Christopher, tell us, how did the Bucket Ministry begin?
Well, in 2012, I was on my first international mission trip with Amazon Outreach, and I'd never been on an international trip before and really didn't know quite what I was getting into. And on this particular day, we were visiting a village that was probably 75% flooded, and we went to the first home on a faith visit, and we were warmly invited into the home, and the woman of the house, she quickly looked at me and she saw I was sweating like crazy, and she asked me, would you like something to drink? And of course I said yes. So I watched her take 2 cups of water, and at that very moment she walked outside and she dipped 2 cups of water into the river and then brought them back into the house and handed me one and handed my interpreter the other.
Created a little bit of a dilemma for you.
Yeah, because I didn't know exactly what to do as I'm hanging on to a cup of dirty water. And on one hand I thought, well, if I drink this, I'm going to be sick for the rest of the trip. On the other hand, I thought if I don't, I'm going to be rude.
And the translator was in the background going,
oh yeah, yeah, my translator's like, no. And
the translator.
Yeah, so I was starting to look for a house plant to pour the water in, but I couldn't find one anywhere, so I sat there and held it the whole time. And then really it became apparent to me that these people, that's all they have to drink. And it was it was really a heavy burden on my heart, especially when I got home, as I think that's at the very moment when God breathed the Bucket Ministry to life, was in that home, and I started researching a lot of filtration options. And the very next year we returned on an Amazon outreach trip and started to distribute buckets, and it became very clear just how important that tool was at that point.
well, Christopher, I've seen firsthand how incredible it is. Christopher I met earlier this year. He shared about this Bucket Ministry, but firsthand using it in the villages and using it as a tool to preach the gospel. I just love this tool, and I love the fact that while it's not feasible for us to give water wells to every community, the Bucket Ministry is a viable option. It's much more affordable, portable, and especially for the smaller villages where water wells don't make sense. So,
Yeah.
I'm excited to be partnering with you and to encourage this on all of our trips. So if you're going on an Amazon outreach trip, if you're leading a trip, let's talk about the Bucket Ministry, because it is an incredible opportunity to preach the gospel in a way the villagers can understand and lead them something that's going to transform their lives both physically and spiritually. Christopher, I've really enjoyed the week with you. Love the Bucket Ministry. Any way I can help to encourage others to use it, I'll be glad to do that. God
Thank
bless
you so
brother.
much. God bless.